TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donation. Shalom ve'erev tov, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledges to return the last remaining hostage in Hamas captivity home. Britain aims to alter the law in support of the Jewish community with the intent to root out jihadist rhetoric and violence in protests. President Donald Trump pledges to protect the Jewish community in the United States of America. Israel is attracting significant foreign investments as it emerges out of the two-year conflict with the Islamic Republic of Iran and its regional proxy stronger. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, during a foundation stone-laying ceremony initiating the construction of a metro in the central city of Tel Aviv, revealed that NVIDIA has decided to invest $1.5 billion in Israel's largest ever server farm.
Today we received the news that NVIDIA, which is the largest company in the world, a $4 trillion company, has decided to make a massive investment, this time in the Galilee, in Kiryat Tivon. A massive investment. The whole world is chasing after NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is coming to Israel. And not only NVIDIA is coming to Israel, investors are coming with no end in sight. It is not for nothing that The Economist ranks us among the 3 best economies in the world.
In parallel to this significant influx of funds into Israel's treasury, granting Israel's economy a much-needed boost, Prime Minister Netanyahu also emphasized the, quote, great achievements which Israel's security forces had fought for in the multi-front war versus Iran and its proxies.
These are great days for the state of Israel. These are great days, first and foremost, for security. We have concluded Operation Rising Lion, and we are emerging from the War of Redemption with tremendous achievements. The entire world stands in awe of how this small country strikes the axis of evil, Iran, and its proxies. They are bigger than us by orders of magnitude, in both population and territory. Everyone is in awe of these achievements, and we are fulfilling all of our goals. We have returned 254 of the hostages, as I promised, and we will also return, and not relent until we return, Ran Gvili, a hero of Israel. The first to enter will be the last to come out, but he will come out. We will get him.
While the Jewish people in Israel and around the world are celebrating the feast of Hanukkah, families of the hostages are gathered together to emphasize that Israel cannot move forward into the second phase of President Donald Trump's 20-point plan without releasing the last remaining body of the hostage Rani Gvili, who was murdered by the Islamist Hamas terror organization on October 7th of 2023 and kept in captivity in the Gaza Strip ever since.
I want to thank you for coming here, and we are spreading our message that we will not move to phase 2 until Rani is here so we can close this chapter. So initially, thanks to everyone, and spread this in all the networks. Wherever you are, we are not moving to phase 2 until Rani returns. Thanks. Israel is waiting for Rani.
Meanwhile, in the wake of a clear rise in anti-Semitism, a number of countries are taking a more proactive stance against supporters of Islamist terrorism in their respective countries, to include the United Kingdom. Earlier this week, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer pledged to take action to ensure the security of Britain's Jewish community.
We do come together to celebrate Hanukkah, but we also come to stand together in solidarity, because I know the whole community has been shaken once again, not for the first time, by the abhorrent attack on Bondi Beach. And once again, Jewish people killed for being Jewish. We do need cause and effect, of course we do, but we need more than that. We need to stand together in defence of the Jewish way of life, of the liberties and freedoms that make our British way of life.
Among others, chants by Islamists such as "Globalize the Intifada" will no longer be tolerated in Britain, and the House of Commons will act to amend legislation to ensure those promoting jihad are no longer tolerated.
Current laws are inadequate, and we welcome the fact the Home Secretary has asked Lord Ken MacDonald, KC, to review the current public order and hate crime legislation. The words and chants used, especially in protests, matter, and they have real-world consequences. We have consistently been advised by CPS that many of the phrases causing concern to Jewish communities don't meet prosecution thresholds. However, now, in the escalating threat context, we will recalibrate our operational actions to be more assertive. We know communities are concerned about placards and chants such as "Globalize the Intifada", and those using it at future protests or in a targeted way should expect the Met or Greater Manchester Police to take immediate action. Violence acts have taken place. The context has changed. Words have meanings. Words have consequences. We will act decisively. We will make arrests. Frontline officers will be briefed on this enhanced approach. We'll also use powers under the Public Order Act, including conditions around the synagogues during services, to put further restrictions on protests.
Britain's Met Police Commissioner continued by stressing London's unambiguous intentions.
Our intent is clear: create a hostile environment for offenders and a safer environment for Jewish communities, whilst at the same time protecting lawful protest. All members of society have a responsibility to consider their own impact on others. It is perfectly possible to protest in support of Palestinian people without intimidating Jewish communities or breaking the law.
It is worth noting that when it relates to anti-Semitism, Germany currently leads in relevant legislation to root out the disease. Similarly, after a spike in blatant pro-jihadist, anti-Jewish, and anti-Western protests plaguing the United States, the Trump administration has gone on the offensive, with President Donald Trump pledging that the United States of America will protect its Jewish citizens. Speaking on this matter, the Deputy Assistant to the President and Senior Director for Counterterrorism in the White House, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, in an address to the Hudson Institute in Washington, D.C., explained the White House's view of jihadism.
Jihadism is just another form of totalitarianism. The symbols may change, the narrative may be slightly different, but at the end of the day, whether it's the Third Reich, whether it's a Stalinist communist regime, or whether it is Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, or ISIS, these are all totalitarian ideologies that preach one thing: we will kill you or we will enslave you.
Dr. Golka continued by explaining the threat of anti-Semitism to Western civilization at large, and the United States in particular.
You need to understand what anti-Semitism, what Jew hatred, is really about. It's not about the Jews. It's about Christianity and the Jews. Go back and read the German philosophers. Understand what Nietzsche was saying. What were their critiques of Judaism? Well, they said the problem with it is from Judaism we got what? That famous Jew called Jesus, who gave us Christianity. And what's the problem with Christianity, according to the German philosophers? It's a slave theology. You do what? You promote weakness. The servant is more important than the master. It's not triumph of the will, some Nietzschean Superman. No, it's the opposite of that. Christianity is about love, not power. And the anti-Semite is in fact galled by the fact that Judaism brought us what? Monotheism and objective truth. The modern German philosopher said what? There is no objective truth. There is Macht, there is power, there is will. Christianity says the opposite. We have a relationship with the Creator who is the truth. The rejection of the Jew is the rejection of the West. It is the rejection of Christianity as well. That is why we care. That is why we just designated the Muslim Brotherhood.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I have two announcements to make. First, to our Finnish viewers in particular, TV7 Finland will host tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. Helsinki time a special fundraising event against anti-Semitism, a program with all proceeds earmarked in support of the security of the Jewish community in Finland. I encourage you to engage with the program as we join together to combat anti-Semitism. Separately, we have reached the end of 2025, and with that, the end of TV7 Israel's broadcast year, as TV7 transitions into its Christmas broadcast schedule. We will resume TV7 Israel News broadcast on January 7th of 2026. In the intermediate period, we aim to air one weekly update on Mondays to keep you informed on our social media platforms. So from me and the team here in Jerusalem, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom initially, and a Merry Christmas next week, and a blessed New Year the week thereafter, as we continue to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and the redemption of Israel. Shalom from Jerusalem.